Right, Blighty Boxing with Frank Warren and Queensbury Promotions here at the Queensbury iBox with the man of the moment, Sam Noakes. How are you, mate?
Yeah, very good, thank you.
Now, obviously, your star is definitely rising on BT Sport the other week. First round knockout.
Yeah, it went really well, yeah.
Caught the eye.
Coming together nicely.
Delmar Thomas. Statement time, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I said to the boys, obviously the camp went really well. Even in the change rooms, it just felt really good. I think everything, all the preparation was all perfect, and obviously that displayed on the night.
Now, how much of a thing in the build-up and everything else when you knew you was up against an unbeaten opponent, you know, 5-0 versus 4-0?
Yeah.
Did that make a difference to your approach?
Yeah, I think it gives it a bit more of an edge, and I feel like, you know, like when you're in there with the journey, when you're weighing in and that, like you sort of smile a bit more. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like they know what they're there for. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not that animosity between you. Not that there is there, but there's still that like the edge more with an undefeated fighter. Do you know what I mean? So it is a little bit different. Yeah, definitely.
Did it make you sort of go a bit quicker? Because there's been a few fights recently, or a couple of fights where you've taken that little bit of extra time.
Yeah.
Did it make you sort of go a little bit rapid speed?
Well, I'm just excited to get in there. I mean, it's been a long layoff, do you know what I mean? And I love the fighting side. I think just where it was so long, got a little bit eager at the start of it, and then obviously slowed down and then got that right hand off, and then I see he was hurt, and I thought, right, I'm going to jump on him here, and then yeah, it come together nicely.
Because people might not know, but you missed out before Christmas through the dreaded COVID.
I was gutted, mate. I was gutted. Like, I got the phone call off Al in the morning. And I was like, "Oh, right, mate, how you doing?" Like thinking he's just doing the rounds. He's like, "Oh no, you've got it." And I was like, "What do you mean you got it?" And he's like, "I know, you've tested positive." I was gutted. I got home, yeah, and I was watching the boxing over the weekend. I'd done a whole box of heroes. Just kept this stuff in me, mate. It's horrible.
So you didn't know you had it?
No.
And did anything ever come?
No.
Were you then waiting for symptoms, thinking what's going to happen?
Yeah, I think, you know what, the initial thought was just like, right, I'm not fighting, do you know what I mean? And that's like, not that the camp's wasted, because it's obviously you're still learning. It's just like, we'll do all the build up, you get the weight right, and then you don't get the good, you don't get the bit at the end of the rainbow, do you know what I mean? So it was a bit poxy really, but it's just lucky to have a fight date at all. I mean, there's boxers out there who ain't even fought for a year.
So were you sitting there waiting to start coughing and wheezing and all that?
Yeah, no, but I was alright. I mean, like, I was just going on runs, obviously on my own. You're allowed out for an hour, in you, so I was just getting on my runs done on the Sunday. Once I got over the boxing and the boxing was done, all the chocolate was eaten, I was back running on the Sunday. So.
Did you notice your promoter making some favourable comparisons with Nigel Benn and Ricky Hatton?
Yeah, I read the article Al showed me. Yeah, it's lovely. It's lovely to see him notice me now, and obviously he was there at the fight. But I knew it was a matter of time. That's why I just sort of kept in my lane, doing my own thing. Do you know what I mean? It's going to happen eventually if you think it's going to. So yeah, it just come together nicely. I mean, with an undefeated fight as well, good performance. He was there, so it's all coming together nicely, really. Sometimes
you just need that little piece of the jigsaw to fall into place, don't you? Sort of like the right performance at the right time in front of the right people, and all of a sudden it can propel you a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Timing is everything. I mean, I always knew that it was going to come, and it's nicer when you step up against a better opponent, because as I said before, they open up a bit more. Obviously, these journeymen, they've been around. They're clever, aren't they? I know everyone thinks, they're just in there losing and that, but they're smart.
Yeah, so but you've done the unusual thing. You've been stopping journeymen. I mean, that is the unusual side. I mean, not too many people do.
Yeah, no, well. So I like to think I'll bring something different to the table.
Have you thought yourself, because you're going to get the old, you know, the analysts and the coaches and everything else are going to say, Sam needs rounds, but then the minute a fight goes a bit longer, everyone's going to say you're crap.
Yeah,
when you blow them out, people are going to say you need rounds. You know, it's one of them.
To be honest with you, I'm quite a fit man anyway, do you know what I mean? Like, we get good enough rounds here with top quality fighters, so I think the round thing's not an issue. Like, I'd be alright in the later rounds. If anything, I prefer the later rounds. Do you know what I mean? You've warmed into it nicely. The first one's probably the worst. Like, you're in there thinking, go right, I need to warm up. Like, you're getting used to no noise.
Your timing's right.
That's what I mean. There's no noise there, and then obviously then you warm into the fight. But that's what I do anyway. I don't like the first round. I prefer the others.
Now, you're not the only Queensbury fighter making a bit of a splash at lightweight and knocking people out. Mark Chamberlain, lightweight.
Yeah,
had a look at him.
Yeah, he's a very good fighter, Mark, because we sort of same Southern Counties, didn't we? So he was the year he won ABAs, I was in it. I weren't lucky enough to get through, but we done all right the year after. But yeah, very good fighter, very good backhand.
Unusually for a lot of people now, you're both senior ABA champions, aren't you? Because a lot of the youngsters are all saying they're national champion. The juniors, aren't they?
Yeah, the senior is the big one, isn't it?
Did it make a big difference to you actually having that year or so in the seniors? Because do you think some of these guys are missing out at the moment?
Not that they're missing out, but I think, like, you know, obviously we fought without head guards before we turned pro. Like, a lot of the boys who obviously come from straight with such a good junior record, they went straight into the pros, no head guards, light gloves, and it probably even like, I remember I got in there my first one, got hit with a jab, and I thought, God, that feels different to like the other ones. Normally they're all with the big soft gloves and that. So yeah, it might do, but they're all very class fighters anyway. So I don't think.
I'm not really talking about the boys in here, but you sometimes feel that some of these youngsters could do with a year in the seniors just to get used to fighting men, because they can get caught short a little bit or found out sometimes. As you did it.
I know what you're saying. I think it does. Obviously, that experience is good, but I feel like with the right team behind you and that, you're still going to get looked after and get that right experience when needed. Do you know what I mean? I think as long as you've got an open mind to it and understand that you have only fought at a junior level or a youth level. Do you know what I mean? Rather than going in there thinking, oh, I'm going to stopping all these kids, and then when you get in there with a man or a tough journeyman, it is completely different, and you can notice it straight away. But
well, a lot of them have never fought a man before. They've only ever fought kids their own age.
See, I was lucky in that my junior career was probably worse than my senior career, so I probably come into my own as a senior, whereas obviously these boys progressed earlier. Do you know what I'm saying?
So what do you reckon, another year, 18 months before Noakes Chamberlain, Chamberlain Noakes?
It's not a fight that I'm looking at. If it comes up, I'll take it, obviously, but...
I know, but I mean, what I'm saying is, but in a year, 18 months' time, it could be a fight the fans are going,
oh, yeah.
Wow, that's going to be something.
Definitely think it'd be a good fight.
It'd be like Dubois Joyce of the lightweights,
definitely be a good fight. It'd be two big bangers in there. Fans would love it.
Yeah.
If it comes along, it comes along. Do you know what I mean? I ain't looking at anyone thinking, right, I'm looking at the list thinking, right, I want to fight him, I'll fight him. I'll just fight whoever I have to fight when I have to fight him.
What is next?
You have to talk to the big man now. I don't know, I ain't got a clue.
No idea on dates or nothing?
I haven't got a clue, man. I'm just ticking over, really.
I suppose, ideally, the next time you fight, the Maidstone masses might be making their return.
Oh, fingers crossed. They're itching. Everyone keeps messaging me when they can come back to watch, so it ain't going to be a problem getting rid of the tickets.
Well, it might have grown in a way. I mean, you've had really intensive TV coverage,
I'd like
you know.
To think so, because as I said, I've been lucky that 4 out of 5 have been on the telly. So hopefully next time it's even easier to sell tickets, because I've got a good crowd there anyway, but if that grows, it's just going to be even better.
Sam, man of the moment, Noakes, thank you very much.
Brilliant, thank you very much.
Cheers, pal. Put down.